Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Let's talk football. Today we will be talking about the NFL playoffs, and I will be sharing my predictions as to the advancing this wildcard weekend, as well as my Super Bowl prediction at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and kick things off. So the playoff weekend has finally arrived. Every team knows that if they're going to advance, they must win or else their season is done. Aging stars such as Tom Brady and Drew Brees, you never know, but this moment could be their last one, so they definitely want to give it their all as Father Time is knocking on the door for them. Throw Phillip Rivers in that category as well. For guys like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, the future is now. This is a chance for them to rewrite some narratives about them or either extend, their legacy in the case of Pat Mahomes and try to get a repeat. So there's a lot of great storylines heading into this. So let's see how things unfold. In the first matchup, I'm thinking that the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Indianapolis Colts 34-23. If the Colts have any hopes to win this game, they're going to have to win the turnover battle and finish drives in the end zone. With Phillip Rivers, this could potentially be his last game if he does choose to retire and if they were to get put out. For Buffalo entering this game, they're definitely one of the hottest teams in football currently. No one is wanting to play the Buffalo Bills, especially in the first round right now. They've shown within the last 2 months that they are a team to be reckoned with. So I'm expecting Buffalo to really have a good game. Next up, I have the Steelers beating the Cleveland Browns. The Steelers come into this game as one of the, I guess you can say, colder teams in the playoffs. Lucky for them, they're playing the Browns, and the Browns are going to unfortunately be without their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, as he'll be dealing with COVID along with some others, and so the Browns will once again be shorthanded. Although the Browns did beat the Steelers to get into the playoffs, the Steelers opted not to play starter Ben Roethlisberger and to rest a couple guys to ensure that they would be healthy for this game and rested. So I'm expecting that Mike Tomlin will have the Steelers ready to win this one. I'll go 23-16. The Ravens and Titans. This is going to be a very close one between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tennessee Titans. I've got the Ravens winning this one in a close one. I'll say 30-28. But perhaps this matchup on paper is the closest matchup that we will have on Wildcard Weekend in terms of two teams entering this matchup approximately even. You've got Derrick Henry crossing the 2,000-yard mark this season. Lamar Jackson, he has been on a mission the last couple of weeks, and so this is going to be an exciting game to watch. I expect a lot of offense, a lot of big plays, so this is going to be a great one. The Saints and the Chicago Bears. Drew Brees is definitely up there in age, and it's really looking like this is going to be his last season. So he definitely wants to see if he can lead the Saints to one more Super Bowl. I know he's been close a couple times in the last couple of years, and the Saints have not had the best of luck. But against the Chicago Bears, I'm expecting that this is going to be a defensive game, and a lot of utilizing the running backs out the backfield, especially in the case of the Saints, in the passing and the ground. But the difference is going to be Drew Brees versus Mitchell Trubisky, and I put my money on Drew Brees in this scenario, so I've got the Saints winning this one. I will state that Drew Brees all time in the playoffs, he's 8-8 currently, 8-7 with the Saints and 0-1 with the Chargers throughout his career. I've got the Seahawks beating the Rams, and that's partially me thinking that Jared Goff will not be 100% if they do stick him out there. But if he doesn't play, then it could get worse than that. But it's really going to come down to Sean McVay and how does he handle that quarterback situation. With Goff missing the last game of the season, they were able to beat the Arizona Cardinals because Kyler Murray also was, although he tried to play, he could not play. He was clearly too hurt to play. Aaron Donald and company, they're going to be looking to carry as much of the load as possible. But I expect Russell Wilson to find a way to make sure that his team advances to the next round. But I expect a close game if Jared Goff does indeed start. Next, we have the Washington football team and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is definitely one of those feel-good stories with the Washington football team being led by the return of Alex Smith this season, considering the traumatizing injury that he experienced a couple of years ago. And then you have Tom Brady in his first game without Bill Belichick and the Patriots. His first game in the playoffs as a wild card team on the road as well. So plenty of storylines to follow. Um, I've got the Buccaneers winning this one, 27-13. Tampa Bay's defense is going to be able to limit Alex Smith, I feel. Although Alex Smith is a great story, he hasn't exactly looked like how he was prior to his injury yet. And the Buccaneers have been hitting strides on offense, especially as of late. So Buccaneers are going to win this one. But if there's anything to encourage Washington fans out there, it's definitely that history is on your side. It has been fairly nice. The teams that come into the playoffs at an 8-8 or 7-9 record, and that may play into the Washington football team's favor in this scenario, as those teams have all bode well. Now I will tell you, I think the rest of the playoffs, how the rest of the playoffs will play out. Some of the key questions that everyone will want to keep an eye out for is, will the Buffalo Bills stay hot throughout the playoffs? Does Aaron Rodgers have enough to bring it home? I know during the draft, a lot of people were shaking their head when the Packers drafted Jordan Love, because Aaron Rodgers made it all the way to the NFC Championship last year, but it seemed like he needed more help, in which they did not give him more help. So we'll see if that comes into play this playoff. Can Drew Brees make another Super Bowl trip and perhaps leave out on top, as we've seen others such as Peyton Manning and Ray Lewis do? Will Tom Brady actually get to be the first player to play a Super Bowl in his home stadium? I know that would be something that he would definitely love to achieve before he retires. And did the Kansas City Chiefs make a mistake resting their starters in Week 17? We saw what happened last year with Baltimore when they rested their starters prior to having a bye week, and ended up showing up when they played Tennessee. They just looked like they wasn't the same team. So we'll see if Kansas City will be able to maintain the standard that they had throughout the regular season. Many questions. Can Lamar Jackson change the narrative about him? Last year, like I mentioned, they got put out in their first game, and so he has yet to win a playoff game. So will that change this season? Many questions to be answered. Yeah, in the divisional round, I have the Chiefs and Ravens first off. The Kansas City Chiefs got too much firepower for them. Pat Mahomes and company. We saw how they looked in the opening week against the Baltimore Ravens. I think we would see a similar type of performance, as it's just too much. But if Lamar Jackson can really go out there and play to his capabilities, we could have a very nice matchup there. Buffalo and the Steelers. I think that Buffalo would put the Steelers out of their misery. They honestly would be lucky to make it this far the way they've been playing. So unless Ben Roethlisberger turns back to the hand of time and somehow the Steelers get rejuvenated and stop dropping passes left and right, I've got Buffalo with a pretty convincing victory over the Steelers there. The Packers and the Buccaneers. I know in the regular season that Tom Brady and company was able to have their way against the Packers. I just feel like the Packers are playing much better since that last time. It is very possible that the Buccaneers could beat Green Bay, but I went with my gut feeling, and I think that the Packers are a much better team. Although Tampa Bay has been playing better as well, but I think Rodgers and company will be able to avenge their loss from earlier. Saints and Seahawks. I just feel that in this game, the Saints defense is going to make it tough on Russell Wilson and company, and that Drew Brees, he's going to have to make some key throws in this one if they're going to win, for sure, against a team, whether it's the Seahawks or the Rams. But I've got the Saints winning that one. They've been a great team regular season, even without Drew Brees, so I've got them winning that one. Now, in the AFC Championship game, the Chiefs and the Bills. I think that this game is going to be, it would be extremely close. Extremely close. I could see the Chiefs winning just by having the ball with the last possession, 31-27, a score like that. But it would definitely be a close one, and I would not be surprised if Buffalo were to pull the upset. Would it, or would it even be an upset at this point? The Packers and the Saints. That is another one that could go either way, but I would just take Aaron Rodgers and company over Drew Brees at this point. I've seen Drew Brees at times just look not like Drew Brees has historically looked, and so yeah, Aaron Rodgers has been on fire. So if he can maintain that, if they get past the Buccaneers, I think they'll get past the Saints as well, and we're gonna get a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Packers. Now, when it comes to the Super Bowl, yeah, no surprise here. I've got the Chiefs winning over the Packers. I'd say the score would be something along the lines of 35-31, in a classic that would come down to ultimately a shootout. Pat Mahomes gets the ball last, and yeah, the Chiefs win because of it. The Chiefs, they've been focused all season long. They want to be the first team since the Patriots did it to win back-to-back Super Bowls. And I think that they definitely have the talent, the coaches, the personnel, and the mindset to do it. So that is my predictions on how I think this playoffs is going to play out. But of course, as we know, the playoffs, they're usually filled with some upsets here and there. You can never predict how things are going to go. And it really just comes down to matchups, especially with X factors, such as injuries, COVID, all that stuff. So you just never know what you're going to expect, especially this year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe, and share with other sport fans that you know as well. I'm Joshua, and I look forward to talking with you guys in my next video.